Hey guys, hello. How you doing? Uh, I just finished up doing a panel at Continual, which is a online science fiction, fantasy, horror, pop culture convention, and it was basically on new stuff that I had going on. And I was supposed to do this like release party for Falstaff Books for all the authors who had stuff coming out this month and next month, June and July, which is me. I have something that came out in June, and I have something that's coming out in July. And I had some technical. I know this is going to be, you're not going to believe this, but I had technical problems. I guess we should just get this out of the way now. Technology really does hate me. If it's more complicated than, say, a pen or a stapler, it's trying to kill me. So, that being said, we're going to press on. In the launch party, I had mentioned, I actually went ahead and posted the information that I was going to drop at the launch party. It's on my Facebook pages, and it's on my Twitter account. I tried to do a video for here of the stuff I wanted to do for the launch party, but I was having some trouble. So bear with me, guys. I will figure this stuff out eventually, and I've got a lot of wonderful people who are going to help me, so thank you for bearing with me. I am giving away a ebook for the Queen's Road that released today. It came out last week, but the hardcover and the Falstaff paperback came out today. So, and we're still trying to get the links sort of all gathered together in one place. Just so you know, it is available as an audiobook. Here it is right here. Oh, no, here it is right here. This is what I want. And there, see, technology. The Queen's Road, it came out last week as an ebook and as a Amazon Prime paperback. It is now available through Falstaff Publishing through Amazon as a paperback and as a hardcover. So I've been told by my publisher that the hardcover info is not disseminated through Amazon just yet, which I don't really know what any of that means, but lucky you, because if you're watching this video, or if you read the post that was going to tell you about this video, you have a chance of getting a free ebook copy of The Queen's Road from moi and the wonderful people at Falstaff Books. So all that you need to do is be subscribed to the channel. So if you are not already subscribed, please subscribe. Click on the little bell for notifications so you know when a new another one of these videos comes out. And leave a comment on this video about the launch party and the free ebook. And whoever does that first gets the book. It's that simple. And hopefully we can do some more stuff like this as we move forward, because I think I like to give stuff away, and I'm sure you guys like getting free stuff. So with that being said, let us jump to what I wanted to talk about tonight, which is a good friend of mine, Anita Firebaugh, who I worked with in the newspaper business, had mentioned some things in a comment on, I think, the first video I did, talking about how it was easier for her to do short pieces like newspaper pieces or maybe short fiction than it was to try to tackle a novel or a long piece of fiction. So I decided to maybe touch on that just a little bit. We can get into some more detail about it in other videos. But one of the things I wanted to kind of challenge you with is, if you are interested in writing as a job, you're going to need to learn how to write every day if you can. Now, life happens. My kids were growing up during most of the years that I was writing as a journalist and then writing as an author. And there were days and weeks where I simply could not write. I didn't have the time to do it. But I remember when I was starting on the first novel, The Six Gun Tarot, I worked a little part-time job at a comic book and game store here in Roanoke, which is long gone now. It was called Extremes. And it was at Tanglewood Mall, which is also almost gone now. But I would work there part-time. I was a terrible employee. I would never hire me, ever. And I also worked freelance writing. I was doing pieces for newspapers and magazines. And I would write on the book. And some nights I would come home, and I was sending out short fiction too. I was sending out fiction to try to sell short stories. And I'd come home, and a lot of nights I'd be so freaking tired, and I'd have to get up early to get the kids to school. And I always tried to write a little bit on the book, on the novel. It took me about 3 years to write Six Gun Tarot. And that was in the middle of a divorce, my kids coming to live with me a lot of the time, and just all of a very, very crazy period of time in my life, and a lot of distractions. But I remember fondly, actually, now looking back, I remember fondly like waking up with like this waffle pattern on my face from the keyboard of my laptop, where I had fallen asleep trying to write a little bit more on the book. So first book, 3 years. As I wrote more books, more novels, my speed picked up. But again, there'd be times in my life where I'd drop it into a lower gear because things took precedent over the writing. Stephen King, who has this wonderful little book called On Writing, which I will talk about in another video, says something to the effect, I'm paraphrasing because, you know, it's me and this stuff only works so well. You know, it says basically that life is not a life support system for writing. It is the other way around. So now, most of the, like, for example, I did a adaptation novel for Sony Pictures Men in Black International, the last one that came out that had Thor in it, and Valkyrie too. And that took, I started it in the late summer and finished it up around end of December. So some books, when I'm really in the zone and there's not a lot of stuff distracting, I can get a novel done in maybe 4 months, sometimes 5. You pick up speed the more you do. But one of the things I wanted to talk about was some people, you know, say, well, should I write short stories or should I write novels or what should I do? You should write what you feel drawn to write. Some people prefer the short story medium and they're better at it. Some people prefer novels. Some people like both. I like both, and they are different skill sets. They're totally different skill sets. You have the luxury of taking your time with a novel to just establish the world, establish the characters, establish the plot. In a short story, and I've gotten to write a lot of short fiction this last year. I've done 4 short stories, I believe, in 2019. I did a couple of short stories for Amazing Stories magazine, and I did a couple of stories for some anthologies. And it's a different beast. It's a different set of skills. It's a different mindset because you have to get things in a very finite number of words. You don't have all day. You don't have all the time you want. That being said, with novels, you really can't go all Stephen King on them. You really haven't earned the cred to do that. When you sign your contract for your book, it will tell you that they're expecting you to produce a manuscript of X number of words. Most of the ones that I have dealt with have been around 90,000, 80,000 words. That's what they're wanting. Now, to be fair, to be honest, I have gone over that on almost every novel I've written, into the 100,000 words, 120,000, 130,000. And again, that's going to depend on your publisher and your editor. You may have to kind of pare that back. When I did the Men in Black book, they wanted 80,000 words. So your contract is going to kind of tell you, your publisher is going to tell you what they want and how long they want it. So which do you do? Well, I would recommend that you hone your skill with short stories and build to a novel. Now, if you have some idea burning in you for a novel, then ignore me. To hell with me. Do what you want to do and write that novel. One of the big problems for a lot of people, and actually it's funny, I was seeing this just the other day on some social media that several authors were just talking about how, yeah, I've really gotten out of my zone. I haven't been writing right now. And a lot of folks who want to be writers saying that as well. You know, they're basically, you know, they've gotten out of the discipline of writing every day. And it's easy to do. And some days, it's like anything else. Some days you're focused and you're on your game and you got this. And other days you're just like, I don't want to do this. I don't want to do anything. But here's a little food for thought. I did a little number crunching. And as good as I am at technology, so much worse at math. So much worse. So feel free to kind of go behind me and see if I am full of crap or not. The average sentence is usually between 15 and 20 words. So the average is going to be 17 words. That's one sentence, the average. The average paragraph is 3 to 5 sentences, no more than 8. So you add that together, and if you say write a average paragraph, which would be 4 sentences, and that's what you write for the day, you should be looking at around 68 words for the day. So what you did is you sat down at your tablet, your laptop, maybe your phone, and you wrote a paragraph, and you moved your story ahead 1 paragraph. Doing that, you're looking at, you'll have a 7,500 word short story, which is considered the maximum length for short fiction. A lot of places that you sell short fiction to are going to want much less than that. They might want 1,250 words. They might want 1,000 words. And that's where the fun comes in, is trying to get your story tight and carved down to that range. Word count is much more important in a short story than it is usually in a novel. But again, it's going to depend on who's publishing it and what they want from you. If they have to spend a lot of time trying to, you know, hack away all these extra words that you put in there, they may not decide to use you again. So you want to try to be mindful of what they want from the beginning. And most writers' guidelines for anthologies, magazines, they will tell you what they're looking for as far as the length of the stories. But if you just do one average paragraph a day with 4 average sentences in that paragraph, in 3.5 months, you have a short story of the maximum length for a short piece of fiction, 7,500 words. 3 months. That's every day, just doing a paragraph. One of the fellows I was talking to tonight on the panel, the video panel that we did for Continual, they asked us about our process, and he said he tried to do about a page a day. So a page a day, you're looking at much less time for a short story. If you're looking to write a novel and you're going at the paragraph a day rate, it takes you about 3.6 years for a manuscript of 90,000 words, which is the average length that you're looking at for most commercial novels. So 68 words a day. And in 3.5 months, 3.5 years, you have a body of work. Now, if you can do more than that, and I'll be honest with you, You do it every day, you will do more than that. You can shorten that time. You just have to keep going. That talent, precision, knowledge of literature, all of those things are part of writing. But the most important thing is endurance. You have to be Rocky Balboa. You have to get your face smashed in. You have to be so freaking tired that you just want to lay down, but you get back up. I can remember, and it's just so cliche. I mean, it's like something out of a movie. I remember one night coming home from Extremes, the comic book store, and I was so freaking tired. It'd been a really long day. And the days when I had to work late, the kids would stay with their mom. And I remember coming home, and I had sent a short story out, and I opened my little mailbox up, and there is the rejection letter. And it was just a photocopied piece of paper saying, we're not interested in this. Thank you so much for sending it, but we're not interested in it. Please try again. So I trudge upstairs, and it was raining. It was like pouring down the rain. Like I said, so cliche. And I get in there, and I just was like, fuck it. I just didn't want to do it. But I sat down and I wrote on the book, on the novel that I got published without an agent, without anybody but, me and the good people who edited and gave me advice and all those people. But, end of the day, you're the one that does the writing. And it's a beautiful feeling when you finish something. So don't give up. This is not easy. It seems like it is. I've had clients. I used to do all kinds of writing. So I besides doing journalism, I would do like advertising work. And there were a couple of clients who I won't mention. One of them is the city of Salem. Oh, did I? I'm sorry. I'll edit that out. And I think the other was some national realty agency that whatever, that stiffed me. I didn't have a physical contract with them, which is something else we're going to talk about down the road. I had a gentleman's agreement. I had emails, but they both reached a point where they're like, we paid you enough. We're not going to pay you anymore. I know we said we were going to pay you more. I know we had an agreement that we were going to pay you more, but we're not going to pay you anymore. Everyone thinks this job is so freaking easy. And in some ways it is. It's the oldest form of communication, storytelling. We used to paint freaking pictures on cave walls, tell stories. It is also, I think, one of the most vital forms of communication we have. There is magic in it, with a big M. So, if you're going to do this, hang on. There are going to be days when you don't want to write your damn 68 words. There are going to be days when you don't want to write that page. There are going to be days when you don't want to write a damn thing. Right. Now, which is better? Long form, short form? The pay is better with a novel. Of course, it depends on who your publisher is. But I've been very happy with what I've gotten paid for the short fiction I've done this last year. It's a fraction of what I make off a novel, but and then there's usually, you get for short fiction, you get a royalty check. It's like, it's been 2 years and I got a royalty check for like $3.57. Woo, honey, we're going out to dinner. So it's, as far as just dollars and cents go, you're probably gonna make more off a novel, but there's a lot more markets for short fiction than there are for long fiction. And of course, there's self-publishing now, which has its own particular advantages and disadvantages, which I think we can talk some more about those. But I want to try to wrap this up. I probably have gone way over again. I keep wanting to do like 10, 15-minute videos, and I just blah, 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 blah. So to remind you again, please subscribe to the channel. Click on the bell for notifications if you want to know when new stuff is coming. Leave me some comments. Let me know what you think of how this is going. Let me know if there are questions you have. So far, most of these questions have been from the comment sections of the different videos. Thank you so much. I'm really blown away by how many people seem to be responding to this. I've been getting a lot of good feedback on Twitter. I've been getting a lot of good feedback in email, Facebook. I just really appreciate it. So thank you for doing that, and please keep doing it. Subscribe, hit the bell. If you're already subscribed, or once you're subscribed, you can post a comment in this video mentioning the Fall Staff Books launch party and the free ebook of The Queen's Road. And the first comment that shows up in the feed in numerical and timestamp order will get the ebook, and we will do some more things like this. Please go and check out the book if you haven't had a chance to yet. Also, I have Golgotha #4, The Ghost Dance Judgment, which will be coming out in July. Trying to get all the information together for that. And thank you so much. Don't give up. Don't stop. No matter how much you want to stop, don't stop. You can do this. We'll do it together if you want to. I'll be like your bald, graying drill sergeant. But get at it. Tell me how things are going. Tell me how your writing's going every day. I want to hear about that too. Have a good night, guys. Take care. Bye.